I want to thank everyone for the positive feedback for the last video, and I'm going to try to make this a regular series, and I pull some IRS stuff out. It's a lot of the same material, but as long as they're going to be trying to convincing us that the city of Las Vegas or the state of Nevada or the United States is a physical geographic area and not just a pseudonym for lawyers like this, I'll keep pointing it out. So here what we've got in the Las Vegas Municipal Court, we have City of Las Vegas is the plaintiff. This is, well, that's evidence enough right there that the City of Las Vegas is not a geographic area. They would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was within the plaintiff. Anyway, lawyers, a physical geographic area, if what this is, would not be able to hire a lawyer. We also have down here the city's opposition to motion to dismiss. And we see that it's actually not the city, it's actually Michael Detmer. In fact, we have proof here that Michael he signed it. Michael signed it. He says attorneys for the plaintiff, so it's actually Michael, so he can call himself the city. I can call myself Santa Claus. It doesn't make me Santa Claus. But that's what he's doing. So we have now comes the city of Las Vegas, here and after referred to as city. We know that it's not a geographic area. The client was accused of the heinous crime of driving on an unregistered vehicle and driving without a license. What's important here, this is a statutory crime. It is not a real crime. It only exists by way of statute. Now, the motion to dismiss was not one that I did, but only one part of it was the no valid cause of action, so we'll address that later. This attorney, Mr. Detmer, does not, this is misleading. He says that his initial position is the defendant seeks the inappropriate remedy of the dismissal of his charges based on multiple grounds, all of which are unsupported by statute, case law, and reason. Now, they are supported by reason, but reason is not, and that's not a grant. That's not support for someone like Detmer. He only accepts, and we'll go through this later. He only accepts the opinions of other lawyers. That is the only those are the only grounds that he will accept. And he admits this. So, again, he's admitting that it's a statute that the client's alleged to have violated, that the crime itself is the violation of a statute. It's not hurting anybody. So we've got more evidence here that the city still has a statutory ability to amend. Obviously, he's talking about himself, Michael Detmer, not a geographic landmass. The city is not and cannot be a geographic landmass. I like how he goes down here and he states that the defendant is entitled to a complaint which states the essential and material factual elements constituting the crime charge. Now, the crime charge is the violation of a statute. There's no factual evidence or allegations whatsoever that the statute is applicable in the first place. And we'll show later how even he admits that just a bare bones assertion like they've done that he violated the statute, that's not sufficient grounds for a valid complaint. So we're going to come down here. That it has to state the essential elements, and it does not do that as stated. He says here, unless the accused is able to affirmatively demonstrate that the information is so defective that it results in a miscarriage of justice or actually prejudice him in respect to a substantial right, no relief will be afforded him. Well, as the officer did, he is accusing him of being within the plaintiff, and there's no evidence of that. It's certainly misleading to say that the city of Las Vegas is a geographic landmass or a geographic area when it is in fact not. It is a pseudonym. So certainly that is misleading. So we'll go back down to that. It's certainly, that's a miscarriage of justice right there because they're trying to mislead him into thinking that the city of Las Vegas is actually the land when it is absolutely not. I want to go through this quickly, as I mentioned. More evidence here because he's saying that the city may still move to amend. No, that means Michael Detmer, not a physical geographic location. Of course, the city's ability to do so, again, not a geographic landmass. This is some really good stuff here. Defendant fails to provide any authority for his argument. Generally, an absence of point and authority can be construed as an admission that the position of the party is not meritorious. You can construe that the moon is made of cheese and even get a battery of lawyers that agree with you. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it real. It doesn't change reality. What this actually means when you strip out the legalese, because the points and authority is just the opinions of lawyers. So when he goes down here and says, it is important to note that the defendant's entire motion is essentially void of any points and authority, in proper English, what he's really trying to convey here is it is important to note that the defendant's entire motion is essentially void of any lawyer opinion. Okay, that's all it means. So we'll go down. This is gold, Jerry. Let's say I made a mistake. Okay, this is wonderful, and he doesn't seem to apply the same standard to his own complaints. He cannot rely on conclusory claims, but must support his claims with specific factual allegations. Bare bones assertions are insufficient. Wow! He cannot rely on conclusory claims, but must support his claims with specific factual allegations. There are no factual allegations. The law is applicable. Only an allegation, an issue of law or an allegation of law that it was violated. There is only a bare bone assertion that he violated the law. Nothing, no specific factual allegations that the law was applicable. Okay, so by his own standard, it fails. And then he tries to claim that he asks the court to dismiss the instant cases, because of the cases do not meet the elements of a civil action. That's not what was pointed out. He's trying to muddy the waters here because it was pointed out that a right of the plaintiff has to be violated. Well, if you have a cause of action, which he insists there is one here, there has to be a violation of legal right. And even if you don't use civil or criminal, the fact that they admit it is an adversarial proceeding or an adversary proceeding requires a violation of a legal right in order to be an adversary proceeding. And it has to be an adversary proceeding for the court to have any subject matter jurisdiction. So we'll get down here again. We have, I have to blow this up. The city is aware. Unless we have a terminated thing going on here, I don't believe geographic locations or areas are aware, and if they are starting to be aware, we're in trouble. I'm going to skip down to where they do that again, because that's what the important part is here. Yes, here we go again. The city is aware of its duty of disclosure. The city is aware. I can't make this stuff up. They're trying to make you believe a geographic area is now aware. I'd like to see the evidence of that. Here, the city recognizes. No, at least here he's not, he's referring to himself. But here he's trying. It's just a pseudonym, and it's still himself. He's just trying to make it look like it's not him. It is him. There is no city. Then we want to jump down here again. The city is not obligated to conduct. If it's a geographic area, how does it be obligated to do anything? So here, just to restate. Defendant's alleged due process violation argument is a bare-bones assertion unsupported by fact or law. So like he mentioned earlier, bare-bones assertions are insufficient. But that's all he has here is a bare-bones assertion that my client violated a statute, but he doesn't even come close to presenting any factual allegations that he's present within the plaintiff beyond a reasonable at all, and certainly no allegations of fact that the law in question is applicable. So again, when they say city of Las Vegas or the city or the state of Nevada or the state of California, we know they're lying. Call them on it. Ask them. Factually, what is the city of Las Vegas? And as a they won't get into that. We know what the response is. It's a fiction.
Thank you.
We know it's
Sir,
a fiction, and we need to keep challenging them on.
Do not start with me. Just do not start with me.
Fucking thing sucks!